Hey everybody, how you doing? This is True Power is Mine, and this is TPIM as our live. Today, the topic is economy, kind of. But more importantly, locking your ass up for lack of economy. Hold on. Bam. There we go. Incarceration Nation. You know, those of you who follow the show every day, remember the other day when we were talking to Brother Ted Hayes. He had made mention for public health and public safety. That's where this kind of comes in. Rise before the fall. I don't want that to be like prophecy. But let's look at the pictures real quick. And then I want to get into this article about what's going on in Oakland, California. Excuse me. I have tried my best to bring you all the information. And I just feel like it's just not enough. Okay, now we got Bernie Sanders and Joe Biden. Can't make this shit up. This is what the Democrats are touting in front of people. No reparations for the blacks, but I need their votes. And I don't know what his stands are on reparations, if he has one or not. He probably doesn't at this point. Look at this craziness. I bet you they do. See, this is the hope for the United States, unfortunately. It's folks who are, shall I say, dispossessed in this corporation that we call South Africa. Because the people are getting back the land, they're going to be looking towards the American dream. And as Dr. Anderson told us, what's the American dream? Property. And the potentiality to build wealth. So we keep playing our little games. Let me get the camera right. Keep playing our little games. And you notice, look at this hand in Robot. It's not a melanated hand in Robot. You better get it with. I'm trying to tell these people. Damn. Point blank. Unless we get engineers. You know what? I said that shit before. Let's just move on. People get it. They're going to get it. They're going to get it either way. Whether I say it or not, they're going to get it. So I'm not going to be too upset. All right. Oh, fuck. Excuse me. Excuse my language. I really have been up for a while, so there's really no excuse for it today. I can't be like, oh, I'm just half asleep, guys. No, I'm just kind of like in a bad mood because I feel something horrible coming. Like today. All right. Let's see.
Public safety begins with public health. In December 2017, the Ella Baker Center for Human Rights released our community safety plan for Oakland. Public safety begins with public health, making Oakland safer together. Our plan recognizes the choices that have led to less safe and healthy communities, and identifies ways that the city can implement public health solutions to public health problems that focus on health, well-being, and prevention instead of criminalization.
All right. Let's look at these pictures and let's break this stuff down. Who do we have at the show? Hey, what's up, Bird? Welcome to the show. Now, Let's focus in on this picture right here with the tents and the bike and the clutter and debris, and this old boy right here probably peeing. They're going to use these situations to justify incarceration. Look, why bother having people out here in the tents where you can put them in this building and re-educate their minds or brainwash them, however you want to look at it. You know, we have lost our soft power as a nation, meaning that honestly it was really never here if one looked at it totally accurately from the beginning. But the perception that America was a place for liberty and freedom, and we all know it is true as long as you have the money. All right. Now, yesterday we went and we demonstrated how money is actually created in this society. Now, I'm tired of this, all this other rhythm and row, but now there's literally no excuses for reparations being paid, seeing how the money is actually, thank you, Brother Frederick, the money is actually generated from nothing. No one will be impacted from this. But we're going to keep playing our stupid games, keep putting on the old Bojangles shoes and dancing. Because as we all know, the entertainers are the last to go. What about the little brothers and sisters who mom and dad, for whatever reason, they don't have the money? What happens to them? Why do they have to die? Why do they have to be liberated from life? Because of hate. Just four little letters, H-A-T-E. Hate. Systemic hate, by the way. Because as people often use, well, I never had slaves. Well, then why do you still hate black people? That's not the point of whether or not you have slaves. The point is, have you benefited from slavery? And once you did have a business or did have a corporations, did you treat melanated people fairly? And the answer is, it has to be a resounding no. Let's look around. Please, just look around. Now, we have gotten to such an extent that if for whatever reason, heaven forbid you're disabled or handicapped or mentally ill, you know, this is straight up Nazi territory. Oh, you're not productive to society, so they must be exterminated. This is insanity. But yet, this is being presented to us all as reality and normal. You know, if you're homeless, no, you should go to a re-education camp. And here's the best one. Here's the best one. I don't want to pay for that. You know, Joker, you're not paying for nothing anyways. You do realize all the money that has ever been created up until this point was regulated by the Federal Reserve. Yes, it was tied to your debt, meaning that your labor, meaning you going to work producing some sort of uh, either product or service. But that should actually be done by the government, by the United States government. The printing of money. If it's going to be paper money, then we should just cut out the middleman, right? Like, for instance, most of us have to pay water bill if you're not on a well situation. But if you had the option to get a well, a one-time payment, get the well drilled and have pumps hooked to it, would you do that? Get that one-time payment, or would you pay a city or a county, a water district, a monthly cycle bill in perpetuity? You see what I'm saying? You see how well, basically how the game has already been rigged. Because now, if you're living in city limits, oh no, you can't drill no well. No, no, no. You have to be connected to our water for your safety. Yeah, for public safety. But see, doesn't the concept of safety and health almost contradict the way it's being applied by our government? Contradicts the notion of freedom and liberty. Meaning, Bird, we suspect you of having measles. We're gonna quarantine your ass. Like, no, no, no. Better yet, Bird, we suspect you of not being vaccinated for the measles, so we're gonna quarantine you for not being vaccinated for the measles, which makes zero sense. I mean, how long are you supposed to be in quarantine? And also, how long does the virus or bacteria or fungi of these so-called communicable diseases, how long do they stay alive outside the human body? And why is it just like the flu? It just comes and it goes. Then it comes back and it goes. And no one ever puts two and two together. If I was a Luciferian, Satan loving politician, it would be in my best interest to have it would be in my best interest to have people with medical expertise to be able to develop these biological agents so I can send them out into the society and then use my political power to control said society. Oh, these people, let's say Group A, the Group A'ers, they're not being vaccinated, which once again is poison. They're not being vaccinated. So now we have to quarantine them, thus severing their abilities to be economically effective and productive. After a few months of this, then I'll come back around. Well, now since these people, the Group A's, since they're not productive, they're crapping all over their tents and their homes, because we shut off the water because they couldn't pay it, obviously. Then I can send in my goons and extract Group A, take them to, the border of town. We'll have a facility out there. We can call it the Rehabilitation Ranch. The Rehabilitation Ranch. You go out there to the ranch, and we can open up the ranch to the usual suspect, like drug rehabilitation programs, church programs, and I guess I should say religious programs and whatever, just to preoccupy these people and give them a sense of hope while at the same time exploiting them for labor. At the ranch, you have to roll up your sleeves and be productive. This notion that a human being must be somehow, some way able to plug into the greater machine that is society and be a productive member, that is so unrighteous, folks. As history has shown us, governments, you talk about common citizens, broke people killing each other. Governments in the last century has killed more people than all the crimes, all the little plagues, and some of the plagues actually should be contributed to the government's actions in various wars. What am I saying? I'm saying that because everyone's so scared of getting sick, because this is playing into the whole you are in control of your destiny. Honestly, you're not. You could die right now. Straight up, you really could, of anything. A meteor hits you, comes through your roof. Some punk sees you on the street, blasts you. Some slasher comes up behind you, puts you in a rear naked choke, and starts gigging your side. All of this stuff is risk. And to look towards insurance companies or the government to somehow protect you from these variables, the best person who can protect you at the best cost is you. Because as soon as we start putting in agencies, organizations, governments, the cost goes up. And then that cost becomes unsustainable. And once it becomes unsustainable, then the people who control that truly controls you. Let's put it in this perspective. How hard would it be for a wealthy executive of any company to truly exploit somebody if everybody was economically maintainable? Meaning that they even though they may not be able to afford a Lamborghini or a Maserati, they still can afford a Tesla or a compact car of some sort. They can still afford to buy their groceries. They still can afford to operate. See, right now, if you're in the wealthy class, talk about the amount of psychological power you truly have over people. What am I saying? There is no political solution to our problem. There only is one solution. That's a spiritual solution that requires changes in people's minds and perspectives of whatever targeted group. On this show, all you old time listeners, you all know. What's up, Marty? Welcome back. You all know who is the targeted group. This is really so mind-boggling and perplexing to really understand that we have all this technology, quite literally, right here. Let me click this. I don't understand why this is so choppy. All right. We can go right here and we can ask this thing anything. But yet people keep asking it the wrong thing. Oh, how to get a date. How to make money. Check this out. How to make money online. I want to be a millionaire.
Here is information from Money Under 30.
Okay, I don't understand why. What's up, Shogun? Welcome to the show. Okay. Become a virtual assistant. Make up to $16 an hour. You know, I know truck drivers in small towns that don't make 16 bucks an hour. I don't. I know a company that actually starts off at 11 bucks an hour. See, somewhere along the line, and the line basically was like 1341, humanity got off the path. Greetings, Brother Al. Welcome back. Welcome back to the show. Glad the Most High woke you all up, each and every one of you, and got us on the right foot today. It's correct. 80% of the time, not bad. You know? Making money online. 50 grand in a month. Oh my gosh. All these scams. What they're really selling you folks with this make money online bit is hope. Because as sure as I'm sitting here talking to you guys today, it will come a time, and not the too distant future, where this place is going to burn. And I'm not being metaphoric. I'm not being some sort of dream scenario. I'm talking about quite literally burn. Hey, Barbara, welcome. Welcome to the show. Glad you made it. Luciferianism gaining ground in the United States of America. As if they ever lost any ground. Seriously, we almost at this point, boys and girls, we can make this statement. America was founded in satanic principles. Was founded. Now I'm just saying, but over the course of years, because of the efforts of sincere religious folks, it has become better. It has become not tolerable. I'm talking about on the real now, but it's become what it is today. Meaning that, to our knowledge, except for now, there was, hold on, and I want to bring this up. Last slaves of Mississippi. At least to our knowledge, slavery is supposed to have ended way back in the day. But in 2007, the last slaves of Mississippi, people getting beaten, raped, abused, exploited. This, let me get that smaller. And this is from Vice. Now, once again, I can't play Vice's any of their material, and I won't read any of their damn sentences. All right, I'm just gonna read the headline. Blacks were enslaved well into the 1960s. 1960s, guys. This is sad. Sylvester McGee, born 1841, died October 15th, 1971, the year of our Lord. Man who allegedly was the last living former American slave. Founded on godlike little G principles. Oh my Lord, Shogun. That is so true. I need to somehow augment my chat to where it's more focused on the chat room, because this is what this show's all about, man. We gotta talk. I mean, come on, folks, look at this. Hold on. Oh, what the heck? My computer has really been acting up. Let's look at some of the images at least. Hold on. Oh my! This stuff's about ready to fall. This stuff's about ready to fall. Look at this. Look at these two old men right here. Look at those eyes. You can't really see them. But here's the deal, man. Oh, now this is... Look at that. That is so wrong. Let me cover this up so I don't get in trouble. Oh my God, you guys see a nipple? Almost like cattle. She has to give her milk to this baby. Now, I know you guys all heard about Facebook, the Zucker thing. If you talk about... That's why I don't really operate on Facebook. You talk about racial issues, like, I guess in the format I do. They'll basically block your little Facebook page. This is so sad, man. I don't know what that's supposed to be about. Look at this. Oh, we're just so happy. We're just so happy. Oh my God. I gotta zoom in on this one. Look at old Colonel Sanders. He looks like a cross between Abraham Lincoln and Colonel Sanders. I guess this is his... No, this must be his wife. This must be the old nanny. Look at this young one. The young maid here. The pain in her eyes, man. Even the child knows something's off. That's why she's clutching to her imaginary doll here. And old boy's he's just one of those guys. And this is what it's about right here. That's what it's about right here. Hold on, let me zoom this down. I want you all to see this. This is what it's about. And keep on playing games. Keep on pretending like you don't know. It's about you marching your little ass somewhere with shovel and pickaxe in hand to make somebody some money. The pale skinned man, she Ray's still here and holds his head down every time we meet. Imagine him holding my mom away from me while he was feeding. Wow. Wow, brother. That last sentence, man. Your mama, your mom, your mother is giving the milk that should be going to you to another man's kid. And you're trying to sit here and say that economics don't play a role in this. Trying to sit here, money don't matter. Of course it matters. That matters. You know, we should come up with a slogan. Black bank accounts matters. Black bank accounts matters. Because without that bank account, I guarantee you, your life's in jeopardy. Your life is in jeopardy if your bank account is not correct. I'm telling you. But alas, the fix is in, kiddos. This is 1775 right here. Black men and women going to work for damn near nothing. And no one seems to see nothing's wrong with it. You know, Brother Shogun, you have to do what you have to do to operate, friend. What Brother Albert just says, be safe and make the best of it, Shogun. Come on, y'all, let's send Shogun some positive energy, man. Let's send him some energy to uplift that spirit. Even though the moment that he goes into that job, he loses his humanity, he loses his dignity. But the moment he gets off, the moment he punches that time clock, by God, he gets his dignity and he gets his inspiration back. You got to understand, folks, we have too many financial illiterate brothers and sisters out here. Oh, Brother Rogers, Frederick, you are so correct. Because this, you see, Brother Rogers, this right here has been pounded into it. By God, you get up and you go out there, you get some money. You go out there and get a job. You work. Don't work, you don't eat. This is what's pounded into our heads. Instead of saying, if you don't save what little money you do have, make some sort of account to where it grows interest over time. You're working for nothing, little brother or sister. Just think, Brother Al, Brother Frederick, Brother Shogun, Brother Leonard. Just think what would have happened if, let's say that you guys all started working at the age of 14 or 15, all right? You know, maybe you were helping a neighbor cut grass or baling hay or whatever it could be. You know, if you was to take $10 from every paycheck or every little bit of money you would have got over, say, $10, how much money would you have now? Just think how much money you would have now. But you can't do that. And I'm going to tell you why. And it's not because you guys lack the desire to. It's not because you guys lack the the ability to see the future and want a better. No, it's because reality dictates you better spend every dollar and then try to borrow $5 just to make it. You got to spend every dollar you have and then borrow $5 just to make it. Now we're back to this picture here. Now, I was just throwing that 14 out there, just, I guess the spirit just hit me with it. The beautiful thing about that, brother, not only was you raised right, what I mean by right is you was raised with work ethics. You was able to survive. I mean, come on, man. Come on. A lot of people don't get it. If they grew up in the city, there is a little bit of what's that called? Safety in numbers. But if you grow up way out in the rural areas where there's not a lot of people, or even if there is a lot of people, there's still uh, opportunities to be caught alone out there, to be victimized. And I'm telling you, the same bullshit you face in the city pertaining to racial um, situations and consequences is almost, I dare say, amplified in the suburbs, and it's really exacerbated out in the rural area. That's how you can get that, brother. When Dylan Roof shot those people, the little brother living up in the trailer. Now, Dylan's my friend. I don't see nothing wrong with him. I'll hang out with him. Yeah, he's a good guy. That's how you get this. Push more, rake, bottles of gas. You can cut the biggest yard and rack them for $5 all day, all summer and spring. You got that right. You know, there is no getting around this fact. And the fact is, you have to create, manufacture, develop, and bring to reality product from the land. The problem, I think, the disconnect we're having here is that we need land so we can explore underneath the land, find out if it has oil, find out if it has rare earth resources, find out if it has diamonds, gold, platinum, uranium, thorium. Find out. But once we find out, then we have to utilize it appropriately. Why do you think, people, Africa is being hit up right now by all the so-called superpowers, whether it's the Chinese, whether it's the British, whether it's the Americans, the Germans, the Belgians? Why? Because people are in this state over here and they're not trying to develop the resources for themselves. I really hate looking at these pictures, man. I really, really, it really does bother me. Look at these poor souls. Look at them. I mean, are we without emotion? It's like I'm looking at this picture. Yeah, it's in black and white, and it's obviously was made to elicit a certain, I guess, emotional response, and it does. With this brother over here walking with his head down, shirt all tattered. This one here using the strength to throw a bag. This one here literally down in the hole. It's like see no evil, hear no evil, talk no evil. The cotton planter. West Point. Looks like Mississippi. I'm not for sure. The richest in the land. Think they'll try to give it to us, and then they find the lithium and diamonds and more there. So now they're killing us for the land. Yeah. You know that, look at these folks. Look at those babies. Look at the babies. Because for whatever reason, people tend not to care about the older folk. But look at the little babies. We need to write our own history and perpetuate our own ideals. That is what we need. Shogun, you show right. That is what is needed. We have to give a perspective. We have to give a perspective that's on us. You all do know this could be some of your ancestors and elders. Yes. This is so sad, man. Because these people are being robbed. Right here. These folks are being robbed of their life potential to make somebody rich. Now look right here. I don't know if y'all can see that. You see this right here? That looks like a little hologram right there. I don't know if that's some sort of picture artifact from the photography that they took. See this little boy on his knees? Probably some sort of church service or something. I would hope. I hope no one's getting punished. I truly do hope that. And then people who go sit up here, how come they didn't bum rush this guy, ma? I mean, how come you don't bum rush the people who are oppressing you today? Sit here and try to play that whole Rambo. Oh my Lord. You guys see? Oh my God, man. I just got goosebumps just all over my arms, my back. I really don't want to look at this picture, but I'm doing this for people who are this mess on his back is from being whipped over and over. Do you think America will allow Chinese to take over? I think they would try not to, but at this point, America has been sold out. See, what the problem was, there was some rich white folks that didn't give a damn about other white folks. Those white folks were so busy enjoying just being white folks that while they weren't looking, the true rich white folks sold Chinese technology to make them militarily compatible. Because the biggest fear of the true white folks is that these other white folks who ain't really in the real white folks crowd, that they will somehow become like Hitler and get so militarily astute that they could actually conquer them, and then these fools would be truly running the planet. That's what World War II was about. It was about culling the population of Europe and ensuring that those folks really didn't run the world, basically. But there's still white folks running the world, though. But it's just not them. No. It means Caves and Adam and Eve's 3 sons were there. Oh, my Lord, Brother David, out the box. Welcome to the show, Brother David. Hold on, I gotta get this one baby out. Hold on. I'll be right back, folks. Yeah. Come on, get out. That would be nice. Don't cry. the live studio audience in the other room. Hopefully they'll stay in there for a few. Barbara, no, indeed, dear. America wants it first. Yes, America wants it first. They better get busy then, because Chinese is building shit there. But don't forget, Barbara, we have, like, I think 20 or so military bases in Africa. Oh, y'all didn't know about that? Hold on. You know, seeing how Google's basically Chinese secret intelligence map of military bases in Africa. I just say military bases, they already go to U.S. Just automatically. Get a gander at that, sister. This is AFRICOM. You notice on the rare earth element belt, we got bases all over that place. All right? America is safe and sound. No worries. No worries. You know, they're suffering just like black folks over here, but in silence because, you know, we obviously don't, you know, kind of really give a damn. We really don't. At this point, it's obvious we don't. And it's not that we don't give a damn. It's just that we know. Look at this. Look at them. Look at all those bases. I know. I'll take a count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59. Now, why the hell do we have a base up here when it... Never mind. Obviously, guarding the Suez Canal. A better way of saying that, they send us poor souls to kill each other for the betterment of the rulers of the empire. There is an empire that's cracking, folks, and I hate to scare y'all. It's the same satanic, God-hating, human-hating empire of the Romans and Greek era. And it's where we're under now. Oh, this picture right here is perfect. You got hand grenades, Shell, BP, Chevron. And you're like, well, why are they all up in North Africa? Do you not realize some of North Africa, or West, like mid-Africa here, has oil reserves like you would not believe? Even in Liberia, they have secret oil refineries on the sides of creeks and rivers, and they're just polluting their own shit, but they're getting barrels of oils out. And where do you think that oil's going? It's going to fund jets and stuff to oppress the continent. It's going to fund tanks and trucks and shit to oppress the continent to draw out more resources. If black folks were as lazy as people would try to have you believe we are, there would be no diamond mines. There would be no illegal oil mines or oil rigs, illegal gold mines. Wrong, Pat. Their subs are on the coast where there's a war going on outside. None is safe from. Hegelian dialectic. Sister Africa is the same tone as you and me. Expendable mentally is how they see us. I pray for all lands of color. Let's have a moment. Let's take a moment right now, guys. Out for a busy day, everybody. Just 1 3-second moment of silence for all the persecuted brothers and sisters all over the globe, from India to Indiana. Thank you all for that moment of silence. Now, the moment of silence is over. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about what's going on. Let's talk about why poor little Yemen's over here being bullied by big bad Saudi Arabia. I don't quite literally mean that. U.S. military bases in the world. I mean, I don't think there's a continent that we don't have a military base on, quite literally. Who's treating who? Uh, Quite literally, man. Hold on, let's go up here. Let's go here. Document shows vast network of U.S. bases. This is December 1st, 2018, the year of our Lord. What the fuck? Okay, I'm so sorry, guys, but stop it. You two play nice. Let's see what does Grace has to say about this.
US military says it has a light footprint in Africa. These documents show a vast network of bases. Nick Terse. December the 1st, 2018, 6 a.m. Marine General Thomas D. Waldhauser, Commander, U.S. Africa Command, speaks to the media at the Pentagon on May 10, 2018. Photo, Pablo Martinez Monsive, app. Leia M. Portugues. The U.S. military has long insisted that it maintains a light footprint in Africa, and there have been reports of proposed drawdowns in special operations forces and closures of outposts on the continent. Due to a 2017 ambush in Niger and an increasing focus on rivals like China and Russia. But through it all, U.S. Africa Command has fallen short of providing concrete information about its bases on the continent, leaving in question the true scope of the American presence there. Documents obtained from AFRICOM by The Intercept via the Freedom of Information Act, however, offer a unique window onto the sprawling network of U.S. military outposts in Africa, including previously undisclosed or unconfirmed sites in hotspots like Libya, Niger, and Somalia. The Pentagon has also told The Intercept that troop reductions in Africa will be modest and phased in over several years, and that no outposts are expected to close as a result of the personnel cuts. According to a 2018 briefing by AFRICOM science advisor Peter E. Tile, the military's constellation of bases includes 34 sites scattered across the continent, with high concentrations in the north and west as well as the Horn of Africa. These regions, not surprisingly, have also seen numerous U.S. drone attacks and low-profile commando raids in recent years. For example, Libya, the site of drone and commando missions, but for which President Donald Trump said he saw no U.S. military role just last year, is nonetheless home to 3 previously undisclosed outposts. U.S. Africa Command's posture plan is designed to secure strategic access to key locations on a continent characterized by vast distances and limited infrastructure, General Thomas Waldhauser, the AFRICOM commander, told the House Armed Services Committee earlier this year, though he didn't provide specifics on the number of bases. Our posture network allows forward staging of forces to provide operational flexibility and timely response to crises involving U.S. personnel or interests without creating the optic that U.S. Africa Command is militarizing Africa. According to Adam Moore, an assistant professor of geography at the University of California, Los Angeles and an expert on the U.S. military's presence in Africa, it is getting harder for the U.S. military to plausibly claim that it has a light footprint in Africa. In just the past 5 years, it has established what is perhaps the largest drone complex in the world in Djibouti Jebeli, which is involved in wars on 2 continents, Yemen and Somalia. Moore also noted that the U.S. is building an even larger drone base in Agadez, Niger. Certainly, for people living in Somalia, Niger, and Djibouti, the notion that the U.S. is not militarizing their countries rings false, he added. For the last 10 years, AFRICOM has not only sought to define its presence as limited in scope, but its military outposts as small, temporary.
Okay, well, There you go. Oh, new
And
missile.
little more than local bases where Americans are tenants. For instance,
Hold on, Grace. Don't slow your roll there. Now I lost the damn. Oh my gosh, I can't even see. All right, here. New missile gap leaves U.S. scrambling to counter China. Now, Sister Barbara was just talking about China and Africa, right? See, they're not scrambling to defend China from, or the United States homeland from China. No, they're scrambling to ensure that we can still keep sucking the resources out of all these other places. So let's grab this up. All right. There's a lot of Chinese words in here, so I'm going to leave this definitely to Grace. Not saying that I can't read Chinese. It's just that really I can't read Chinese.
China's powerful military is considered to be a master at concealing its intentions. But there is no secret about how it plans to destroy American aircraft carriers if rivalry becomes war. At November's biennial air show in the southern city of Zhuhai, the biggest state-owned missile maker, China Aerospace Science and Industry Corporation Limited, screened an animation showing a hostile blue force comprising an aircraft carrier, escort ships, and strike aircraft approaching red force territory. On a giant screen, the animation showed a barrage of the Chinese company's missiles launched from Red Force warships, submarines, shore batteries and aircraft wreaking havoc on the escort vessels around the carrier. In a final salvo, 2 missiles plunge onto the flight deck of the carrier and a third slams into the side of the hull near the bow. The fate of the ship is an unmistakable message to an America that has long dominated the globe from its mighty aircraft carriers and sprawling network of hundreds of bases. China's military is now making giant strides toward replacing the United States as the supreme power in Asia. With the Pentagon distracted by almost 2 decades of costly war in the Middle East and Afghanistan, the Chinese military, the People's Liberation Army, PLA, has exploited a period of sustained budget increases and rapid technical improvement to build and deploy an arsenal of advanced missiles. Many of these missiles are specifically designed to attack the aircraft carriers and bases that form the backbone of U.S. military dominance in the region and which for decades have protected allies, including Japan, South Korea, and Taiwan. Across almost all categories of these weapons, based on land, loaded on strike aircraft, or deployed on warships and submarines, China's missiles rival or outperform their counterparts in the armories of the United States and its allies, according to current and former U.S. military officers with knowledge of PLA test launches, Taiwanese and Chinese military analysts, and technical specifications published in China's state-controlled media. China has also seized a virtual monopoly in one class of conventional missiles: land-based, intermediate-range ballistic and cruise missiles. Under the Intermediate-Range Nuclear Forces Treaty, a Cold War-era agreement aimed at reducing the threat of nuclear conflict, the United States and Russia are banned from deploying this class of missiles, with a range between 500 and 5,500 kilometers, 3,418 miles. But Beijing, unrestrained by the INF Treaty, is deploying them in massive numbers. This includes so-called carrier killer missiles like the DF-21D, which can target aircraft carriers and other warships underway at sea at a range of up to 1,500 kilometers. According to Chinese and Western military analysts, if effective, these missiles would give China a destructive capability no other military can boast. China's advantage in this class of missiles is likely to remain for the foreseeable future, despite U.S. President Donald Trump's decision in February to withdraw from the treaty in 6 months.
Yeah, that doesn't matter. Now, check this out. This right here should be terrifying. Trump reports bemoans Pentagon reliance on Chinese parts. Okay, like I said, guys, the fix is already in. The dumb folks over here, the little racist fucks, so happy being racist back in the day when the real elites were like, you know what, we don't want these ignorant bastards to take over the world, so let's just fuck them over. And that's what's happening. You're going to go to war with China? China, before we bomb your targets, we're going to need parts for our machines. Now, I'm the art of the deal, and I have a deal for you, China. They're not trying to hear that. Like I said, the United States has lost a lot of its soft power. When you have political figures throwing up the white power symbol, which is was being known to now. If you were leaders of foreign countries, you'd be like, man, this guy's not to be trusted. He's an orange snapping turtle. He's going to get you because he's tripping on WP. Now, we have to see this one here also. China's overtaking U.S. in scientific research. You know, the dominance that people were so-called enjoying was a technological dominance. And look at he here. Dude. Hold on, this is the pulse of Uncle Sam. He's in the hospital. He just had a stroke. Dude. Come on, let's break this shit down. Google's working with Chinese military. Apple's working with Chinese military. Microsoft's now working with Chinese military. I mean, fuck. When are we going to hear that Raytheon and Boeing is also working with the Chinese military? This will let you know that everything's been sold out in this country. I mean, they already see where the aircraft carriers are based at. All they got to do is just lob a missile. Kaboom. Exterminate. Now, a Pearl Harbor style attack. I think this one right here would be something that everyone should be interested in. Now we keep playing our little games, but here it is.
A Pearl Harbor style attack. Meanwhile, China continues to improve its firepower. 2 sets of satellite images on Google Earth, taken 3 years apart, show how China's rocket force is testing its growing arsenal. In one, the distinctive shape of a jet fighter is clearly visible on what appears to be a mock airstrip in a remote Chinese desert. The images, captured in mid-2013 over the far west of China, show the outline of a Delta Wing aircraft at the southern end of the runway. Images taken in late 2016 tell a different story. The wings and tail section are strewn at odd angles in a pile of wreckage. Satellite image, Google, digital globe. That plane looks like it has been shot at, said Sean O'Connor, a former U.S. Air Force intelligence analyst who now works as a principal research analyst at Janes, the defense information company. The replica runway, pockmarked at one end with impact craters, is part of what O'Connor and other satellite imagery analysts have identified as a PLA missile test range. Here and at other remote sites in western China, the PLA has been blasting missiles at what appear to be simulated targets of air bases, fuel depots, ports, ships, communication hubs, radar arrays and buildings. Some of the mock-ups appear to mimic targets in Japan and Taiwan. Satellite images of the test range with the mock airstrip also suggest China is rehearsing strikes on the key U.S. Navy base at Yokosuka in Japan and other important facilities. According to a 2017 report from 2 U.S. Navy officers, Commander Thomas Shugart and Commander Javier Gonzalez, the 2 officers identified a mock target that appeared to be a mirror image of the inner harbor at Yokosuka base, home port for the U.S. carrier USS Ronald Reagan and its battle group. In their report for the Center for a New American Security, a Washington-based research group, the 2 officers said the target had outlines of angled piers similar to those at Yokosuka and the shapes of 3 warships about the same size as the U.S. destroyers based at the port. Satellite image, Google, digital globe, Landsat Copernicus. The scenario Shugart and Gonzalez laid out evokes the darkest moment in American naval history. The mock-up, they wrote, could be interpreted as a rehearsal of a Pearl Harbor-style surprise attack. That paralyzing blow sank or damaged key elements of the American fleet, killed more than 2,300 Americans and plunged the United States into World War II. But the Japanese failed to sink the American aircraft carriers normally based at Pearl Harbor because they were at sea. In the animation at the recent Chinese air show in Zhuhai, the Red Force doesn't make the same mistake. After Red Force missiles strike the Blue Force carrier, the animation concludes with the words, "The defensive counter-attack operation has gotten the expected results."
I want to play this. This is what somebody wrote, and it's pretty hardcore.
Russian bear guessed 5 years ago. Who could you wipe out in 90s? Russia, you a useless Mongol van. Right after Soviet collapse they had so much nukes you were shitting in your pants. Now you are brave. You think USA is the greatest? Whom did you fought recently? The world is changing rapidly and you are not the almighty nation. There is a lot of medicine for you if you will need it someday, so shut up and keep on living peacefully. Best wishes. Russia is watching you.
Alright, now, when 5G goes up everywhere, they're going to hack this mess and make a deadly weapon right under our noses. Don't fall for this fast data lie. It's weaponized tech. You know, that's right. Here's another comment. You stupid Americans, stop the destruction while China and Russia piggishly kills people for no reason and attack places out of greed. America just wants peace, but oh, this poor soul's messed up. They don't see that we're just as piggish as the so-called Russians and Chinese. Oh my God. These people, when they have comments that far, you know they're batshit crazy. All right, let me let's get back to what's really, like something like this happens. Look at Africa. There's like hardly no whoa. Why is this island off? Hold on. I'm wondering why is that little island off right there getting hit? That doesn't make any sense. If anyone knows where that is, off the west coast of Africa. But yeah, guys and gals, yeah, that's true, brother. That is a fake map. Look at all these people, man. They're ready to kill. India's witnessing cyber attacks. And the sad thing about it, we all know that India really don't like black folks. So when I say that India and the United States, basically, becomes buddies, you can kind of see how that could happen. Like, let's pull up a so-called world map. What the hell is this? Oh, cyber attacks. This is a map of cyber attacks. All right, let me pull this up. A map of the so-called world. What the heck? This is crazy. Well, basically, I just use this map. I don't care. You have the United States, you have India. I honestly think that these folks are going to probably go with the Russians and Chinese. Basically, the old British Empire versus the other half. And you know what? Good. Let them fight over this mud ball. Because those of us who know the truth, we know that everything that you see here has been basically debased. It's a lie. It's been distorted. And that's just what it is. Cool. I'm good. Only one near me. It's easy to tear that shit up. We do get a little early warning, but we probably won't. It'll probably be like you say, whatchamacallit style, Pearl Harbor style. We're just sitting here, next thing you know, boom. What? Where's she at? Come on, get out of there. No, she's gonna get down. All right. Well, I should be at right at the hour part. Guys, I love these hour shows now. It's just natural. I'm just like, boom, we're at the hour part. Hopefully you found something interesting and uplifting today. I just want to thank all you guys. Great conversation today. Great participation. Thank you, thank you, thank you. As always, live your life with integrity without hate, envy, or greed. And let's try to be kinder to each other. And let's try to bring down these incarceration rates as well. Because as we all know, the only way to become a slave is to become a prisoner. Peace.